I'm Adam and this is Reel Rivalries, the show where we pit two movies head to head and let you decide the winner. What we have here is a good old-fashioned Disney Princess Rumble, as Frozen goes up against Tangled. The rounds in play are characters, story, worlds, and music. Let's chill out with the cast first. Chill, because Frozen, you get it. The focus of Frozen is on Arendelle royalty, specifically two sisters. Anna, the plucky, naive younger sister, is voiced by Kristen Bell, who I'm pretty sure acts in more TV shows, movies, and couch commercials than any other actor on the planet. The older sister, Elsa, is voiced by Broadway sensation Idina Menzel. Joining them on their misadventures are a string of colorful characters who range from enjoyable to full-blown irritating, depending on who you ask. There's a talking snowman named Olaf, a guy who does poor reindeer impressions named Kristoff, and a prince who's not quite on the up and up. There's also a tribe of talking trolls and a giant snow monster appropriately named Marshmallow. Tangled follows Princess Rapunzel, voiced by Mandy Moore. Her best friend is a chameleon named Pascal. I mean, she's living a pretty lonely life up in the tower. You can't fault her for befriending a chameleon. The star of Shazam, or Chuck if you must, plays Flynn Rider, the overly confident thief who has a smolder that can melt the hearts of no one. It's not really his fault, they never can seem to get the nose right in the wanted posters. His enemy turned ally of the picture is Maximus, a horse who is really dedicated to his job in the King's Guard. Finally, there's the villain of the film, Mother Gothel. She has a solid voice, she can definitely sing, but she also provides some pretty garbage hot takes for our friend Rapunzel. I fancy myself some Emperor's New Groove-esque shenanigans that Tangled's characters provide. However, there is no denying the powerful sisterly bond that Frozen gives us. I'm calling it a tie here. We're gonna keep things interesting for a while. Frozen starts out innocently enough, with a couple sisters playing around the castle. They have a fun little snowball fight, and Elsa eventually will build a snowman that somehow becomes cognizant, able to speak with real eyeballs and everything. How? What abilities does she actually have here? I can't understand for the life of me. Later, the Ice Queen will create a nice flowing dress for herself using snow magic. Somehow. Anyways, playtime takes a turn for the worse when Elsa gives her sister the rogue treatment. The parents rush their child to the magical trolls that live just up the mountain, where Grand Pobby informs the parents that Anna will be just fine since she was shot in the head and not in the heart. That could be deadly. Again, nothing here really adds up. Why is a shot to the head not something I should be worried about? The parents then keep the kids locked in the castle for the next decade, where they can only interact with one another by singing outside the door. Thankfully, the parents die out at sea, allowing the girls to flourish and be free from their horrible conditions. I guess that's not the actual takeaway the film was going for, but what was the endgame here had they survived? A lifetime of isolation, where the daughters presumably would spiral into a deep depression? I mean, this just seems very ill thought out. Elsa, now uncaged, has a hard time keeping things together. She unleashes an everlasting winter, then flees the scene, leaving her sister and old life behind her. Nice. Anna's determined to save her sister and fix the situation, so she and her friends set out to find Jack Frost's shipmate. Remember when that was a thing? Remember when shipping characters was a thing? That's fun. Along the way, Anna gets engaged, fights off wolves, almost gets killed by a giant snow golem that Elsa whipped up, and eventually saves the day, thanks to the power of love. Huey Lewis in the News style. Tangled's a bit more straightforward. There's no evil prince third act reveal for the audience. Mother Gothel did, however, have Rapunzel hoodwinked for many years. She did this to keep up her cougar status, as Rapunzel is all that remains of a magical flower of youth. Gothel was using this magical flower until the king snagged it to save his wife. Selfish. The queen gave birth to baby Rapunzel, and the flower power was transferred to the child. Gothel stole the newborn, kept her hidden in a tower where she read, painted, danced, combed her long hair, and watched lanterns glow from afar. This is already bad enough, but the fact that she didn't have a working television set is downright torturous. Also, the kingdom she lives in is called Corona. She lives in isolation in a tower, so I think there's a little bit of overlap to what's happening right now. Life comes at Rapunzel fast when Flynn Rider shows up, searching for a place to hide out after stealing the royal princess's tiara. She cooks up a heavy beatdown on Flynn, hides his new prize, and makes him an offer he can refuse, but doesn't. If he takes her to see the floating lights, she'll return his tiara, which ironically belongs to her. This takes the two on a road trip featuring a bar fight turned musical, a watery escape, and a teardrop of love, which brings Flynn and Rapunzel together. Side note, Flynn's name is revealed to be Eugene, but I can't bring myself to calling him that, so I won't. Even though magic is a fickle thing and can be explained away pretty easily, Elsa's powers still bothered me anyway. I'm giving Tangled the win here. Since Rapunzel and Flynn can be spotted in Frozen, I guess these two films are technically in the same universe. However, outside of the cameo, the environments and characters are wholly unique to each. Tangled takes place in the fictional kingdom of Corona. Outside of the magical sunflower, there isn't much to this fairy tale land. We have the impressive castle, Rapunzel's tower, and a dingy little pub called the Snuggly Duckling, featuring some of the nicest murderers you could ever hope to encounter. Certainly friendlier than the Stabbington brothers, who are out seeking Ryder throughout the picture. There's a cave system that gets flooded by a poorly constructed giant dam, too. Shoddy craftsmanship or not, it's always sad to see someone's work get destroyed. It's a damn shame, really. Yeah, I'll keep going. Arendelle is heavily inspired by Norwegian locations and design. The ships, buildings, and clothing really help set Frozen apart from other Disney films. As with Tangled, Frozen features a grand castle, bustling with townsfolk. The lush world of Arendelle is replaced with snow, ice, and aggressive storms about 30 minutes in. Not a lot of shops equipped for the change in weather, and unfortunately Wandering Oaken's establishment is a total price gouge. Although it does feature a nice sauna and friendly locals. The film also contains treacherous mountains, wolf-infested forests, and a homemade giant ice palace. Not sure how Elsa was planning on eating while she was up there. Maybe she could just order in. Or you know what, perhaps she could make her own food using her ice powers. Because you make no sense, Elsa. Fabric dresses and lifelike eyeballs aside, I found Frozen to have a more unique setting and a world to further explore. I'm giving Frozen this round. This may be the toughest round to call since both movies have a stellar lineup of music. I say stellar now. On the Tangled side, we have the big opening number and my personal favorite, When Will My Life Begin? Mainly because I can relate. This is shortly followed by Mother Gothel laying on the thick scar guilt with Mother Knows Best. I've Got a Dream is a fun group ensemble that closes out with Mandy busting out her amazing vocals. Rounding out the songs is the most Disney of the numbers, I See the Light, where the couple performs a beautiful duet out on a rowboat. At this point for Disney, it's basically a requirement to sing a romantic song at night on some sort of slow-moving object. So not a lot of songs in Tangled, but every one we get is, as I've said, it's stellar. Frozen opens with a quick, powerful number called Frozen Heart, performed by some ice loggers in a very dark and ominous way. Do you want to build a snowman poses the toughest question of all. Do you want to build a snowman, Elsa? But I think it's deeper than that. It is deeper than that. The song starts out innocent and playful before cleverly turning into a dismal, somber tale. And it's a fresh reminder how, indeed, these two girls' parents are the worst. The hits keep coming as, for the first time in forever, showcases Anna frolicking around the castle grounds, while Elsa nervously prepares to meet the crowd. Kristen Bell is quickly singing her heart out again as Anna and Hans finish each other's sandwiches with Love is an Open Door. Finally, the moment has arrived that every 6-year-old on YouTube has been singing for the last few months, and their parents are already sick of. Elsa sprinting up some self-created stairs, running her hand literally through her hair as she sings one of the greatest songs in Disney history. Yeah, I said it. I went there. Let It Go was an unstoppable powerhouse online the months leading up to its release, and hearing it on the big screen was undeniably a magical experience. Unfortunately, everything that follows that song is incredibly underwhelming. Olaf's silly song, In Summer, is at least short. And Kristoff's whole talking reindeer shtick is something I would rather prefer have never heard in my lifetime. We end with the final new song of the bunch, Fixer Upper, by the Trolls. These songs can't all be winners. I'll leave it at that. While Frozen may not have the consistently great slate of songs Tangled has, I can't deny how catchy and insanely popular a few of those pieces were and still are. This is another Frozen win. Yeah, I know, I was as surprised as you are. Frozen ends up winning this, and even if I maybe skew a little bit more towards the Tangled camp, I can't deny I enjoyed both these movies. But now I want to hear from you. Leave a comment with your winner, like the video if you had some fun, and I'll see you next time on another Reel Rivalries. Thanks for watching the rivalry. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to hit that like button and comment with your episode winner. If you're a fan of movie debates, feel free to subscribe to ScreenRant for Reel Rivalries and much, much more.